Welcome back. Minister in the Ministry for Culture and the Creative Industries, Fortuna Belrose, has addressed a major talking point concerning the not-so-subtle changes made to the dates of carnival music events. In years past, the schedule for events included Calypso Monarch on the Saturday before Carnival Monday and Tuesday, followed by Groovy and Power Soca Monarch held the following Sunday. That should be the following night, which would be the Sunday. Moments after this event would be the annual Juve in the early hours of Monday morning, which would then be followed by the main carnival parade of the bands on the same day. This year, however, this was switched up with the Groovy and Power Soca Monarch being held on Saturday, the 6th of July, 1 week before the main parade. This change has not augured well with many carnival lovers who have claimed that their tradition is being watered down to cater to private entities. In direct response to this concern, Minister Belrose said there is no need to fuss as there is room for all to benefit from the season.
I think based on the results and the numbers of persons we saw at the event, there's a space for everybody in this. I think our government has been encouraging people to go into private businesses for the carnival, which is good. It's all part of diversifying the product and making it even bigger and better. But I think the public events have been very well patronized. The Groovy Soca, I don't have the estimates on the numbers, but I think I was in the setting and saw the huge turnout that we had. And I guess if you were there with your cameras, you would have seen. I think one of the DBS may have caught the crowd that was in the setting. But there is a space for everything. We have a number of visitors coming in to St. Lucia. A number of the private events are well publicized, are well attended. But I think as a government, I think as we look to expand this business, what we need to do is to ensure that there are better monitoring systems and standards with respect to the delivery of some of these private events.
Sticking to the topic of private events being held during the carnival season, Belrose highlighted one such show which has grown from strength to strength in popularity since its inception 7 years ago.
We had a very good show in Euphoria. We got a chance, our heads of government got a chance to participate in Euphoria, which was done by Teddyson John and his team, and that was well delivered. You know, met the standards, all the standards that we're looking at. And so we just want to encourage our people who want to go into the private business to do so responsibly and, of course, meeting the standards, you know, that we set with respect to major events.
Replacing the traditional slot for the Groovy and Power Soca Monarch on Sunday the 14th of July will be the Calypso Monarch, and on the 13th will be the Oasis Caribbean Soca Festival. Are you ready to pay triple the amount of money for your daily takeout meal? Well, with the phasing out of styrofoam in its totality by November 30th, 2019, local distributors of styrofoam are readying themselves by sourcing alternatives. However, with the prices nearly triple that of regular styrofoam, distributors are calling on authorities to soften the financial blow, which they say, if not addressed, will eventually be passed on to consumers.
As August 1st nears, local distributors of styrofoam containers have already begun making provisions to import new sustainable alternatives into the island. One local distributor says his business stands ready to begin carrying the environmentally friendly alternatives.
We already have some orders coming into the island. I think from June we placed an order in China. It should be shipped soon. It's a matter of time to bring it in, so by the time we are allowed still to be selling the foam products, we will be as well having a section for the other plates. And from as soon as we out of our stock that we have at the moment, we will no longer be bringing it in.
The business owner says he fully endorses the move away from the styrofoam vessels. However, the hefty price tag attached to the alternatives is a definite deterrent.
I hope the government will have that in consideration because it's going to be costly for consumers. People are already thinking or talking about raising the prices for their meals. And I understand that because usually the new products will be about triple the price. So it's a little bit tough, but I mean it's something have to be done. Maybe they should think of, help us with the duties so we can bring down the cost so people don't feel that much of a difference when they buy it. So I believe a little bit on the duties, more to educate the people that is a better product. That should help it.
Although seen as a plus for the environment, the distributor says the new alternatives are not free from issues.
Those products, this is something like you can't do based on what we understand from our suppliers. You cannot just store it. It have a shelf life. It probably have about 6 months or less. I'm not too sure about the date, but those things, you cannot store it like the styrofoam. They go bad quickly. Some of the materials that people had brought in already, it wasn't that good, and it was like getting wet quickly. So we take our time to get a very good product. And as I said, those products, you have to order it and bring it in quickly and start selling. So by the time it hit St. Lucia, we have like a really couple months to sell it out before it's no longer good to use.
The businessman noted, apart from concessions, a more sustainable long-term option would be the creation of industry using natural resources found in St. Lucia, like coconut husks, sugar cane, or bamboo. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Debate has been sparked about whether St. Lucia's long-standing groovy and power champions should make way for younger artists. The topic has caused a firestorm on social media, with arguments both for and against the call for retirement of the veterans to allow the youth to flourish. Some argue that the youth should use the success of the veterans as motivation and inspiration and seek to beat the best with hard work and determination. On the other hand, others argue that older and established artists who have reached the pinnacle of success should allow younger artists the leeway to compete among themselves. We took to the streets to find out where you stand on the matter. Here is what you had to say.
Let me first congratulate the finalists. I wasn't there for the entire season, but I came into the semi-finals, and I wasn't quite pleased with the final record, but I'm only just one person. With the young persons are saying that they don't need the old ones, but let me tell you something. For the veterans to be in Calypso, the associations and other people, they're going to make money. Without them, there's no money making. I just went across to buy my Calypso final tickets, and at this time of the day, Steve still have Calypso final tickets. Last year when I came, I couldn't even get a Calypso finals ticket. So you're saying that they don't want the veterans in Calypso finals? They have to be in the finals for them to make money. Have to. It's a must.
You need experience around any business place or any what would I say that? And I think experience counts in a lot of things. Especially look at let's take for instance the West Indies cricket. We have a lot of potential and talented players with lack of experience. No one seems to be able to hold up one end to talk to somebody. With Calypso this year, to me, I fell aback. To me, there was nothing which really inspired me to watch Calypso. When imagine you have certain, I expected a little more pep from Moggy, but I'm very disappointed in Moggy's performance and her Black. When her Black had a song like Suzette, you're coming back and you're giving people some kind of a Hail Mary thing. You're not encouraging the crowds to come and get the lyrics, which we used to get, we getting in the past. And I wish they would take a page from the performance this year and see whether they can bring back, at least mingle the lineup with experience, because you need this. Show the guys you can beat them. Unless you can do that, it's just a matter of talk. Talk is cheap.
For me, as a middle-aged Calypsonian, and I keep hearing about that the ageable, the adults, the veteran Calypsonians must step down. I would not think it's that right that they should fully step down, because actually we gain from them, because the veterans are the ones who make the Calypso. They make everything lively. We have to learn from them, but at the same time they could as much give fully assistance to the young persons, because when the older ones leave, who's going to take the art form? Most times you have the young people, they coming up, and some of the veterans veterans, they're fighting them down. So you find they're not paying so much interest in the calypso. But I find we should still leave some of the veterans there. They may not be able to take in competition. They might not be in the competition, but leave them there as, you know, as a background support to come and just put up their lyrics and sing, so that the veterans could get a better feel. Not the veterans, the young people could get a feel and could be in the competition, could be in the field, be in the region, you know. Let the young people come in as well, but leave the old people there, but not in the competition form.
Well, what I'm saying in the line of the calypso, that when the youngsters tell a man like Invader and so on, give them the chance. Well, I mean, if you're producing something better, I could understand that. But then again, what I'm saying is that I don't believe they should I believe they should finish that until when they feel that they cannot go again. That is my take to that. And again, you know what happened there? That I remember in Trinidad when they had them competition going on. And after all, man like Super Blue and them so on. Super Blue was the one who came out with it and say he had a song, Blue Fever. I don't know if people remember that tune, Blue Fever. If they listen to that tune, they'll see what Super Blue was talking about. He said about how comes that Mighty Sparrow, he haven't got no competition, and they're saying he's the greatest thing in Calypsonian in the world. And then they decide, well, if that's the point, we'll have a King of King thing and all them kind of things. And I remember when Sparrow came, that show was in Guyana, and when Sparrow came, Sparrow cut the tail for them. That time Sparrow came with a tune, something like, I believe 1995, Who Survived, Survived. And Sparrow cut them, and I remember the commentator says, Super Blue was great, so and so was great. But when the Mighty Sparrow came up, it was no competition at all. So I don't believe that, I come back to my point, I don't believe that the Elder Fox in Calypso should retire. I mean, you stay there, and when you reach a retirement age, you figure out you cannot go again. But I don't believe they're in no position to tell the fellas they have to step down. I will not support that. Okay, because sometimes they come with more nonsense. They don't have nothing. They don't have nothing. What's the calypso you talk about newcomers? How many newcomers you have in the finals and so on? Not much. Yeah. But I don't believe so, man. That is the only thing I could say.
My thoughts on soca and groovy calypso. St. Lucians are one of the hardest crowds to please. I know the association and the committee was trying to do something different, but we grew up knowing that groovy and soca monarch is always on the Sunday, and right after this, you go into calypso finals. I don't think it was a success for them. Yes, they wanted a change, but there's something they have to look at when it comes to groovy and soca. Yes, they want other calypsonians and participants to take part in other activities that they have. But what I'm saying is that we are so used to our soca and groovy on the final, on the Sunday night, and we go straight into Juve. It's a change. Let's see what happens.
The Minister in charge of Culture and the Creative Industries has lauded the National Carnival Queen Show contestants during a post-mortem of Friday's event. Fortuna Belru says overall, the event was a major success.
Senator Fortuna Belrose is proud to announce that Friday night's National Carnival Queen Show was a rousing success. 8 young St. Lucian beauties took to the stage in Rodney Bay, vying for the coveted title of Carnival Queen 2019. The Minister in the Ministry for Culture and the Creative Industries said a number of new initiatives were put into effect on the big night, and the efforts paid off.
We began the main events on Friday. We had the National Queen Show. The Queen Pageant, and of course that was well delivered by Event St. Lucia, and of course the Cultural Development Foundation. The event was well patronized by St. Lucians across the country. As you know, we used a semi-permanent structure that was purchased recently, and it was a packed house. You know, we were very much heartened by the overwhelming response of St. Lucians to the event.
Belrose went on to congratulate the contestants, including the overall winner, Miss Labrie Credit Union, Wania Vanel.
We had 8 young girls contesting, and they range from age 18 up to, I think, about age 25, if I'm correct. And of course, the young ladies made us proud. Miss Vanel from Labrie won the crown, a police officer by profession, but of course a very talented, beautiful young lady from St. Lucia. And of course, all the young ladies were beautiful. I think for us as the organizers, what we were impressive is the way they have grown over the last few months as they prepared for this event. And we really want to commend them for the effort that they made, because at the end, they all were winners in this race. But we want to commend the young ladies who topped the standings, and of course, commend the judges too for doing a very good job. Those of us who were in the setting, looked at the show, enjoyed the show, and of course, the results came through very much as predicted, really, if you were looking at it deeply. Within the setting. So we were quite happy with what we saw.
Belrose said she is particularly proud of the growth of the young contestants as they went through the process of the event. She expressed her confidence that the new Carnival Queen will go on to represent the island proudly. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We'll be right back.